everyone, this is OmegaZula's channel, and today I want to show you the abilities of this hero, how their animation looks like. Nut is a legendary champion from Dwarves faction. Venture into the riveting saga of Nut, the unyielding warrior, brandishing an axe imbued with the fury of kings, poised to crush his enemies' skulls. Nut, a legendary champion of the Defense Spirit Affinity, joins the Dwarves faction as a momentous champion fusion to celebrate his awe-inspiring debut in Call of the Arbiter Episode 7. He was introduced in Patch 7.30 July 2023. Nut was born in an era of envy. His father, Duran, the Mountain King of Hold, had watched for decades as the wealth and sophistication of foreigners outshined that of his own kingdom. King Duran had visited Gloomdeep's only port, Port Wretched, many times, and on each occasion he found himself more and more incensed at what he found in the markets there. How had the outsiders managed to create such wonders? How were their ships so fine, their clothes so rich, and their magic so clever? Duran's anger wasn't only for the other races who visited Port Wretched. Indeed, the king's greatest envy was for some of his own people. The dwarven treasure fleets from the distant Ski Iron Dominion had visited Port Wretched for centuries, their arrival as regular as clockwork. Each and every time King Duran greeted the Sky Iron Admiral, he nearly shook with rage at how much a mere officer garbed themselves better than he. He railed at how the Dominion's polite gratitude, own gifts, ceremonial gifts, were always looked upon with awe by his court, and how his own gifts to the Dominion were always received with little more polite gratitude. Most reputed among these rumored sites of buried treasure was an ancient castle, once a dwarven holdfast but now the home of a terrible monster known as the Fire Knight. The demon was a flaming brute clad in molten steel, wielding mace and fury, such that none could defend against them. The treasures said to lie at the Fire Knight's feet were glorious beyond measure, and the Fire Knight's sacred shield bore a centerpiece that was said to be forged by the gods themselves. The gleaming mass of treasure that lay at his feet were said to be the possessions of fools who had taken their chances in a duel and lost. Nut did not think it the wisest place to seek his gift to the king, but with no skill to tender, he knew he must try. With trepidation in his heart, Nut announced an expedition to slay the Fire Knight. A celebration was held in honor of this great quest, and over the course of it, Nut became intoxicated by the heady perfume of public approval. So intoxicated, in fact, that even he began to dismiss the dangers of his quest. Nut skills. Attack 1. Dwarven Might. Attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has an 80% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 15%. If the target's turn meter is not decreased, each hit has an 80% chance of placing a freeze debuff on the target for 1 turn instead. Attack 2. Fury of the King. 4 turns cooldown. Attacks all enemies. Has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack points debuff and a 25% weaken debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also places a counterattack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Attack 3. Blessed Bash. 5 turns cooldown, attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit decreases the target's defense by 3%, stacks up to 30%. Each hit also heals this champion by 30% of the damage dealt. And his passive effect, No Holding Back. When counterattacking, deals 100% of damage instead of 75%. And Aura increases team's accuracy in dungeons by 80. This was OmegaZula's. Thank you very much for watching until the end. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.